Good morning and welcome to Cathro Vision. It is practice day this morning and as usual I'm running quite late. Had to run down, didn't realise how far down the track it was. So just a pre-warning, I'm feeling like crap today. I think I got some kind of virus, my flipping spine hurts and I'm coughing up loads. So the quality of the vid dips down a little bit, that is why. So the track builders are on track, I don't know if that's in frame, but they're cutting out some tree stumps on this really steep section. The track sweepers have already been down. They got down it alright. Before this morning, all I want to do is film this gnarly, slippy, wild bit of track. So this video is quite appropriately sponsored by Mudhugger. They are a British company that make a selection of different mud guards, wet weather kit bags, riding glasses, and yeah, everyone is going to be needing a nice big full range Mudhugger on today because the conditions are pretty flippin' sticky and muddy. So if you are wanting to sample some of Mudhugger's fine products, there's a link to them down in the description. And bonus for you viewers, you get a discount, 10% off with discount code CATH10. That's it here, CATH10. We got riders, let's film them. No!
Oh my god.
No, 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 don't go. Oh, we got a bum slide.
Where's the marshal?
Around the tree and then inside.
Oh, and then down, yeah. Yeah, Lubes. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Come on, guys!
Next up.
Oh, yeah.
Go for it!
No problem. Oh! Okay, the exit's kind of spicy.
Nice. Oh! Yeah, oh!
Oh! Ow. Yes! Oh. Oh, oh no. You got a big hike.
If you start sliding, hold on to your back and don't let go, dude.
Yes.
Dude, that's the worst place to crash.
Flotec. Oh. 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 Perfect. Oh. 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 Ah. Oh. Oh.
Oh, great up in here.
Oh, nice catch. No! Oh, belly flop. Oh God. Yes, boss. The gauntlet's been set.
Yeah, that's the line you want.
So the most common line people are doing is down the right hand side. There's a small step on the way in which you have to control and not let the bike run away from you. If you let the bike run away, the natural fix is throw a foot out, lock up the brake, and then you end up down in the netting over there. Riders that are getting it good are managing just to keep the bike rolling, stay in the middle, and then just wiggle it round the stump. There is an option to hold it fully off camber up by the orange pad, but you have so much speed into the next bit. But the next catch actually has a lot of support, so a couple of riders made it work in the morning. Yes! See, that is the way to do that bit for sure. What will probably end up being the racing line is not the low one because of the angle it puts you into the next section. The racing line, I'm pretty sure, will end up being high and then down the middle as it lines you up super straight for going into the next stump section. The crazy thing about the high line is there's no turns or catches that you can like chill out and slow down in. It just goes straight down the hill in between those trees at the bottom. Full commitment, but the ground there is still quite soft and loamy, so the tyres can dig in, and it's actually not too bad for slowing down on. So coming down the last bit, the key things that you've got to be doing is one, make sure your body position remains sort of centered, and what I mean by that is there needs to be a little bit of weight going through the hands. If you lean back too far and the hands go light, your front wheel just can't get any traction, and you go into what I call passenger mode, which is where the bike just takes you for a ride. Also, in terms of body positioning, quite often it's really tempting on this steep, gnarly, slippy stuff to take a foot out, and while this can help you in terms of stability, it actually makes it much harder to control the bike. So with a foot off, you can't pump the bike down through little edges, you can't push it into the bits where you need grip. It is better to keep the foot on and only take it off if you've lost your balance. And then talking about balance, the only two things you can do to help with that is one, look where the corners are. Don't stress too much about what's immediately in front of you. You need to balance for the turns. So you need to look ahead at where the catches are and where the turns are, and that's what's going to help you balance. Also, you need to keep the wheels rolling. If you lock up the wheels, you can't steer, you can't balance, and it's just like a vicious circle. The more you skid, the more you lose your balance, the more you want to brake, and it's just not good. All this sounds great in theory, but to be honest, in anything that's scary, it's a battle with your brain. So your brain wants to do all the wrong things. It wants you to lean back. It wants you to take your foot off. It wants you just to haul on the brakes. So you have to visualize riding it good. You have to almost like trick your brain into just committing to it and trying to stay relaxed. But I'll be honest with you, the only way you can get better at it is experience. You need to ride this stuff more and more often, and you will get better. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Put a flag out, mate.
No way, chaos. How did he manage that? Sliks. Oh. Dude!
You alright, bro?
You're good.
Good. Sick. My goodness. Oh. Oh, yeah, boy.
Oh!
I'm in the danger zone.
There we go, there we go. Yo! I think that's enough of this steep, but I feel like a vulture hanging about waiting for the carcasses so I can pick them clean. So I'm going to work my way down, get this video started. I'm going to come back up for A practice, do a bit of ghosting on some of the sections. But yeah, this bit was cool.
Very compact, rather short track, but and it smells like halves.
You practicing your lines, Claudio?
Yeah, you know,
One
I'm
take
not
wonder.
Rob Warner, I'm not a one-take wonder.
Yeah.
3, 2. Cow scheiße.
I'm quite jealous of the production. He's got a camera guy filming bikes, he's got a director, he's got a camera guy filming him, and then we got Claudio. Big team. No team here, just me. Although I hope to rectify that. I am through Patreon trying to drum up the funds that I can actually get a full-time filmer and an assistant editor. Going big time. So this corner's developed a little bit different than I thought. I kind of figured most of the B riders would end up going low and carving a low rut, but no. Most of them are holding high, and the high rut looks like the place to be. It's going to change some more though, so we'll need to see how it develops. I feel like this bit isn't so much about line choice now, it's purely execution. So making sure you get that nice, smooth entrance, committing off the brakes to carry the speed out. Like Dean. Let's see how Dean does it. I like a man that doesn't believe in putting the 13 plate upside down.
You like that? I'm just running it, man.
Just run it.
We're working with that bad life.
Johan,
Oh, hey! I wait.
you need to tell me.
I wait till if somebody's doing the outside, I do the inside, then I see if it's faster.
Are you going to wait for someone and then try and overtake them on the inside?
Nah, not overtaking, but then he's gonna be mad.
So for 8th practice, I've come down to probably the biggest, sneakiest inside line we have ever seen. This is like the mega avalanche when you see some people cutting out a massive switchback, except it's within the tape, so it's perfectly legal. I'm going to do a little bit of ghosting on this, but first of all, I'm going to talk you through this section. Coming into this section, there's 2 lines into this first turn, but as we're not timing it, we're not going to stress too much about what's better here. There are some sneaky lines, like a super inside one here, but again, I'm trying not to stress too much about it. So once you come out of the turn, immediately you have a decision to make. There's the classic wide line, coasting around the outside, super smooth, super flowy, nice and consistent, but it is a long way around. Look at that, that is a trek. A few people are mixing it up on the entrance to it, some are going in a little bit tighter over the grass and then squaring up the corner. They're doing that mainly because there's a small section of the berm that's very narrow, and if you inside it, you skip that out and then hit where the berm's bigger. So the inside line, it is undeniably so much shorter. The only thing that's making it a bit of a head scratcher is, can you carry speed when you rejoin the trail? The exit of the outside is obviously nice and smooth, nice and fast. You can take any line you want into the next turn. But then coming off the inside, you've got this big old G out. No matter what you do, the wheels are always going to drift into it a little bit. And if you don't get your balance perfect, it's easy to get stood up and head left towards the tape. Key for getting this good is making sure you slow down enough that the compression isn't too harsh. But does that slowing down mean that it's then slower? Yeah, nice to see you, Warner. Oh! Oh! Right in the bars.
How are you, Cathro?
Oh,
How are you?
better now you're here. Jack caught him right up.
I'm not sure if the inside will be the one.
Oh. Having a little browse, Greg?
Just checking it out.
Yeah.
Punching, so I just stopped.
Have you tried both of these?
Yeah, I had a look.
Got a preference yet, or not? Not decided.
The outside.
Oh, he likes the outside.
It'll almost certainly be dry by the weekend unless that rain comes. Alright, boss.
You missed all the good stuff this morning, Rob.
What happened? All the mud?
Yeah.
Was it good?
I was pretty wild, eh?
It's good, isn't it? This is all new, isn't it? This all tape wider.
Take yourself back. Imagine you were back in an ATX1. What way are you going here?
On an ATX1 without any brakes, we're only outside.
Nah, you got your wee bottle dripping onto the brakes. You got them working nice.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
Yeah, shampoo bottle up with a constant drip.
Oh.
Nothing really worked, did it, in the 90s?
What would you do here? What looks good to you?
That looks like an awfully long way round,
It does, doesn't it?
but it's going to be easier, less complicated. You're going to carry a lot more speed out. You don't really need to, though. I reckon I'd go tight. Yeah.
All
I
right.
don't know.
That's it. That's the word.
No doubt you've had a clock on it, right?
I will do later.
On that note, let's do some ghosting. First up, let's see Baptiste Pierron going fully outside and then fully outside again on the next turn, versus Charlie Harrison going tight then tight. As their wheels come into view, you can see Charlie peel right onto the inside. Baptiste motors round the outside and catches up Charlie before heading outside. Charlie on the next inside line takes it by 0.53 seconds. That second outside line looked like it lost Baptiste a lot of time. Let's check. Here we have George Brannigan on the outside and Adam Brayton on the outside then inside. As they're both on the same line, it should look similar, but actually George has pulled a slight lead. He keeps that lead down the next straight and then heads outside. Brayton sneaks down the inside and takes it by 0.42. Wow, that inside seems to be loads faster. The outside line down there would have to give you loads of exit speed to be worthwhile, but eyeballing it from earlier clips, it doesn't look like it does. Right, let's sack off that lower outside and focus on the upper variations. Here we've got Bruni on the sneaky outside to inside, and then Thomas Estac on the original outside to inside. Both riders head out wide, then Bruni sneaks slightly inside, pulling a gap. But Estac quickly catches him up and they are neck and neck into the next turn. Estac must have got that turn better and takes it by 0.04. Close one. Finally, let's check out the two fastest on this section. Joe Smith on the sneaky outside to inside and Magnus Manson on the inside to inside. As you'd expect, they both come in side by side and Magnus dives inside while Joe sneaks across the grass to that outside. Magnus looks like he's got it, but then Joe charges up behind him and they both float off the drop. It all depends how they get this turn and no way! It's a draw. Well, for any racers watching, I hope that's nice and clear for you. Pleasure to be of assistance.
Okay, so that's going to do it for the line choice in the first practice day today. Tomorrow is qualifying. That'll be the pink bikes inside the tape video. Riders are still playing about down here. And I think the inside was going to be fastest, but I was wrong last week, so I'll probably be wrong again. But anyway, don't forget, if you're after any nice Mudhugger products, need any mud guards, then make sure, hit the link in the description. Use code CATH10. I mean, just pop over, check it out, see what they've got. No harm in looking. Awesome, I'll see you tomorrow. Catch you then. Oh, here comes Finn. What's he doing? Ooh, slightly inside of the outside. That did look quite nice.